What if I told you that the fate of one of the smallest creatures on our planet has the potential to decide our fate? I am talking about the bees. Those small buzzing insects that we often take for granted play a crucial role in this world that we cannot even comprehend. And if bees were to go extinct, there will be catastrophic consequences. In this video, we will explore what bees actually do, the potential consequences of bee extinction, and the strategies that we can implement to protect these vital beings. So, without further ado, let's get started. Bees are some of the most widespread and adaptable insects on the planet and are found in almost every habitat where flowering plants are present. It visits almost 5,000 flowers in a day to collect nectar and pollen for its survival. As the bees move from flower to flower, something incredible happens. The fuzzy black and yellow bodies of the bees get covered in golden pollen from the flowers. And this powder, which cling onto their bodies, gets spread from one flower to another during its voyage. This fertilizes the flowers, which allow them to produce seeds and fruits. The bees act like tiny matchmakers, bringing together the male and female parts of each flower and ensuring that they could reproduce. That is why bees play a critical role in our food supply, pollinating crops that produce everything from fruits and vegetables to nuts and seeds. Many foods that we consume on a daily basis, such as apples, oranges, strawberries, almonds, coffee, etc., are made possible by the contribution of bees in our ecosystem. In fact, bees are responsible for pollinating about 1/3 of the world's crops. Also, the honey produced by bees from nectar is extracted and used by humans for centuries as a natural sweetener and medicinal ingredient. This production of honey by bees supports many small-scale beekeeping operations, which are important sources of income for rural communities. Existential threats to bee population. It was during the course of this century that bees started facing numerous threats to their survival. Initially, there were approximately 20,000 known species of bees present in the world. However, this number has been drastically declining day by day. There are several factors that contribute to the decline of bee populations worldwide. Habitat loss due to the conversion of natural habitats into agricultural or urban land has led to a reduction in food sources and suitable nesting sites for bees. Pesticide use in agriculture, although meant to improve crop yields, has been toxic to bees and have had a long-lasting effect on bee populations. Changes in temperature and precipitation patterns due to climate change has disrupted the timing of bee emergence and food availability. These significant global changes were all taking a toll on bee populations around the world. Effects of declining bee population. The decline in bee populations are particularly alarming because bees were not just important for our food supply, but also for the entire ecosystem. As pollinators, they helped maintain biodiversity by ensuring that plants could reproduce and provide food and shelter for other animals. Without bees, many plant species would be unable to reproduce and would eventually die out. This would have a ripple effect throughout the entire ecosystem, leading to a loss of biodiversity and a breakdown of ecological processes. But the impact of the bees' decline would not just be felt in the natural world. Humans would also be severely affected. Without bees, our food supply would become much less diverse and more expensive, as farmers would have to rely on other, less efficient forms of pollination, leading to scarcity. Grocery stores will struggle to keep fresh produce on their shelves, and the prices of fruits and vegetables will skyrocket due to scarcity. And if the crisis deepens, many of our favorite foods would disappear from our plates, and our diets would drastically change. This is why we need to realize the importance of bees and come together to find ways to protect bee populations. Steps to protect bee population. One of the most important steps in protecting bees is reducing the use of pesticides, which are responsible for many of the bee deaths. Farmers have to adopt more sustainable and natural methods of pest control, such as using cover crops and planting flowering strips to attract beneficial insects. Governments should also take steps to protect habitats where bees lived and foraged. This includes designating protected areas, promoting organic farming practices, and encouraging the planting of native flowers and vegetation. Individuals can also play a critical role in protecting bees. People should start planting bee-friendly gardens, providing a safe haven for bees to forage and reproduce. They also should reduce their use of pesticides and promote sustainable farming practices by choosing to buy organic and locally grown produce. In conclusion, let me tell you that it is extremely important to change our attitudes towards these tiny insects. It should no longer be seen as a nuisance. We have to appreciate the vital role they play in our food supply and the ecosystem. The survival of our planet is not just dependent on our own actions, but on the health and well-being of all the creatures that calls it home. By working together to protect the bees and its ecosystem, we could ensure a sustainable future for ourselves and all living things. Remember, the bees may be tiny creatures, but they show us that collective action has the power to make a big impact on the world. Thank you for watching.